All right, how is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? It's been a while since I've done a video on Jaclyn Cringe. However, everybody's losing their minds, and they're flinging shit on the wall and praying for it to stick. They're looking for any kind of argument. This is leftist 101. You see, the leftist, they have this strategy, right? That they can go ahead and create these gun law narratives, these gun ridiculous bullshit. This is why you're getting so many of these quote unquote, all of a sudden, mass shootings again and whatnot, to make this a key issue for them to run on because they don't have any fucking platform. The Democrats have no fucking platform whatsoever at all. And so, you know, they have to create a platform, because when you look at their fucking economical acumen over the past decade and whatnot, and whenever you look at their social acumen, whenever you look at what they've contributed here to the internet with people getting censored and, you know, banned off the internet and whatnot, and the course of entertainment, everything has kind of went down under the Democrats. I mean, society has become a pretty much parody of what it used to be. So they have to create these issues for them to run on, to pretend to be these strong candidates. And one of these issues that has suddenly come up is Roe v. Wade. And the reason why is because Roe v. Wade was overturned. Now, with that being said, you're having a lot of these people doing a reaction, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's almost like, you know, to a degree, I can't help but to sit there and think that these people may not be working against the Democrat Party. Holy shit, do you really think that you're intimidating motherfuckers by these ridiculous antics that you do, that this is going to make us independents and, non-biased motherfuckers? Because to be honest with you, I have no intentions of voting for Trump in 2024. I have no intentions of voting for Abbott. I'm probably not going to even vote in 2022. I'm probably not even going to vote in 2024. And if I did, it certainly, if I went to the fucking primaries, it certainly is not going to be to vote for Trump. Now, maybe Trump is a fucking genius. Maybe this is 4D chess. Maybe the reason Trump went ahead and did the mandates, which he did, he's responsible for the mandates for the most part, you know what I'm saying, was to get the hypocrites on the left to go ahead and back the mandates and push the mandates forward. And then he just steps back and says, hey, well, you know, now you've already lost the argument for the my body, my choice and the right to privacy, which is all that, Roe v. Wade was that's what backed Roe v. Wade. So Roe v. Wade effectively was fucking null and void in 2019. And technically, abortion should have been considered infanticide back in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Whenever y'all tried to push those mandates. However, it's not a national ban. And to be fair, a national ban wouldn't benefit me. Even as a pro-lifer, it wouldn't benefit me. However, if you keep on with this stupid fucking rhetoric, then it is going to be a national ban. It is going to be a national ban. Because you're going overboard with it. You're going too far with it. And these privileges that you claim is a right, and it's not a right, it's a privilege. It's a wedge issue, is what it is. And so, yeah, you're claiming that this is a constitutional right. That's not the case. And taking 3 L's back to back. So this has got to be the platform that the Democrats run on. They have to superficially make something for their base to get excited about. But it's kind of a marginalized, deteriorating base. It's not a, accurate base right now. You could sit there and see this with legitimate numbers. Whenever you look across the spectrum of social media as a whole, leftism isn't popular. The media isn't popular. I think only 26% of people actually trust the mainstream media fully. It's just ridiculous at the end of the day, their reactions and shit. And this overreaction by leftists is not helping them. This isn't helping their case. Because it doesn't matter if you get all these fucking what remains of your party to vote for you. It doesn't matter if you energize that base. You have to get people like me to vote for you. And I'm sure as fuck not going to vote for you. And I don't know any fucking honest independent that's going to vote for the Democrats at all, because they're fucking inepted. And anybody who understands anything, whether it be economics, whether it be social issues, whether it be diplomacy, whether it be any of the other fucking issues, are not going to vote on the Democrats because they don't have any strengths. So they have to sit there and make it about all. That's why you get so many mass shootings now. They have to make it about guns. They have to make the next election about guns, and they have to make it about abortion. And they think that this is going to fire up their base and that they're going to get more people interested into them and watching their shit. And this isn't the case. It's just not going to happen. So, one of these people, like I said, Jaclyn Cringe, this is what's wrong, is because she'll sit there. This is a difference between me and her. I make legitimate arguments based on shit that I actually know and try to keep it in my wheelhouse there, where she tries to go out and just make some assumptions from shit that she sees from sources that have a history of being unreliable. So let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say.
LOL, Jaclyn. This is so stupid to keep talking about. You just want attention with a clickbait title. Abortion is illegal and always will be. So stop wasting your breath on something just for the views. Literally, no one cares about this.
And that's exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what this video is for. It's for the views, because everybody understands. And this actually came up on one of my feeds, and I said, fuck it, I'll watch it. It's been a while since I watched one of her cringy videos. It's only 8 minutes, so. Yeah, you better go ahead and dumb yourself fucking down and kill a few more brain cells to go ahead and do this video. Give the rest of us some sort of entertainment, because you're not going to give us any enlightenment.
Yeah, I think this video calls for some refreshments. Now, I don't really need to go through my personal opinion on this again. I mean, I think I covered it pretty extensively in that first video.
I just want to know when the fuck you're not fucking covering this shit. Ugh. Yeah.
Guys know I am very, very pro-choice, and that choice is one that has been stripped from many women because of this decision. Now, I want to go over some of the typical things.
You are not pro-choice. You were one of the motherfuckers out there pushing the mandate. Oh, yeah, you need to get it. It's putting me in danger. Did you get it? Yeah, I got 2, 3, 4, 18. Oh, well, then why the fuck do you need me to get the shit? Why the fuck do you need me to get the fucking... Why do you need me to get it? You know, I didn't catch it. I already have the antibodies in my system. Why do I need to put more fucking in my system? Why? You know, sudden death syndrome or some shit like that? Ain't that what's going on right now? It's absolutely outrageous. So you're not pro-choice. You're not pro the right to privacy, you know, with the IDs and shit, you know, mandates and shit like that. You were all for that. Now all of a sudden is your right to choice again. Oh, my body, my choice. No, you're not. No, sorry. Absolutely fucking not. And, you know, it's not like anybody's taken away your choices. They just took one choice away. You still have contraception. You still have abstinence. You still have motherhood, and you have adoption. There's still 4 other choices there. Those choices are not taken away from you at all. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's forcing you to get pregnant. You've already had a kid. So, yeah, that argument's gone. It's bye-bye. That argument doesn't make it, it's not. No.
Things that I've been hearing from each side that either is flat out incorrect or requires a little bit more clarification.
And you have no fucking clarifications of what's going to happen because it was just fucking overturned. And 9 times out of 10, look at your friend Eugenia Clooney, who you had fucking committed. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you make really fucking good life choices. You know what I'm saying? What about her right to fucking not be fucking thrown into a fucking psych, a bunch of, in with a bunch of fucking psych patients and shit? What about her right to, you know, want to go to fucking Connecticut or wherever the fuck she want to go and, you know, deal with her, what was it, anorexia or whatever the hell, you know? Well, where was her right? You took that right away because you think you know better than everybody else, and you probably are one of the people who know the least. You're just an opinionated fucking YouTuber. That's what you are. And you don't do a lot of research. You cherry pick these fucking researches, and then you read some peer review study that's absolutely fucking over the top ridiculous. And then people like me find your video and, this is why. And I know that your views are going down, so you have to do this video because your views are going down like everybody else's on YouTube. Because guess what? They're trying to push in the mainstream shit, which is saturated now. And this is why YouTube's losing so much traffic.
On the right, we have a lot of people saying things like, well, abortion might be banned in certain states, but you can still get abortion. It's not like you can't go somewhere else to get an abortion. I covered the point in my previous video.
Yeah, and they're right. Right now as it stands. And like I said, an abortion ban for me, nationwide wouldn't do any good because there's so many fucking blue state people moving here right now that it's kind of like overwhelming our infrastructure here, particularly in my city, where it's like, a few years ago it was 800, now it's 1,500 people. You know what I'm saying? So a nationwide abortion right now wouldn't benefit me right now. Could I see them doing this though? Absolutely, because of the way that everybody's reacting to it. And by all means, you back the fucking people out there that are out there ripping up babies in front of churches and shit. And then these fucking women going out there half naked and stuff. And a lot of these people, look, fucking protesters out there, all of you fucking abortion protesters, you've got birth control built into your goddamn DNA. Nobody wants to reproduce with you. All right? I think at this point you're just trying to go out there and catfish for guys who, it's kind of like whenever you see these girls out there, guys, it's like you're trying to advertise like you're DTF or something because nobody can understand why you're out there protesting abortion right now. Like you're going to have a problem. But absolutely fucking not. It's ridiculous. None of the fucking arguments, you don't know what you're talking about because it was just overturned. It's not like it's, oh, these states are doing this right now. No, you don't know. They don't know because they haven't decided, okay, what's acceptable and what's not.
Of this overrunning clinics in states that do protect that right. But there could be legislation that happens that penalizes people for doing exactly.
Now, there she goes. There could be. You don't know. And neither do I. This is just fucking hyperbole from the goddamn left trying to create making this issue bigger than what it is because you don't have the votes for 2024. You don't have the votes for 2022. You're probably going to lose. And like I said, I do think Hard Bastard is right. They're not going to fucking, they're going to try to find a way to go ahead and retain power. They want to go ahead because whenever they blame Trump for doing something, it's something that they've done. You know what I'm saying? So whenever they say that Trump wasn't going to fucking leave the White House, that they're already preparing for shit that they're going to fucking do. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting.
That punishes you legally for...
And mind you, right now, looking at it in hindsight, I don't know if I have a problem with... And see, look at this fucking another fucking car and shit, dude. This used to never happen here. There's so many people moving to this fucking area. But with that being said, and I really haven't really had too much of a problem with this. The inflation isn't Joe Biden's fault. It's not. But this is the Democrats. They have to build fucking wedge issues for this platform. But ultimately, the overturning Roe v. Wade, the recent decision from the Supreme, and I get it. These are all Supreme Court decisions, but the Senate's, and the Congress, they're not doing anything. They're staying out of the way, which is a good thing, which I can at least respect that. I can give the Democrats praise whenever the Democrats do something right, and this is ultimately right. Staying away from this is benefit. And to be honest with you, if I was the Democrats and I was trying to, if I was looking, this is be my idea, right? If I was a Democrat strategist and I was seeing the fucking red tsunami come in 2022, what I would do is I would put up every progressive candidate that's like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in these things, primary them in, just like, Alexandria Ocasio tried to primary in as many progressives in, so whenever that red wave hits, well, you can go ahead and blame it on the progressives. You can go ahead and distance yourself away from them fucking psychos, and then you can move into a better direction. That would be, if I was a Democratic strategist, that's what I would say do to the fucking chairman of the Democrats. Because there's no way about it. This inflation, it's been on, it's from Obama. It's not Biden's fault. It's, you can say that Biden is responsible as vice president. A lot of it has to do with Nancy Pelosi. But with that being said, this is pretty much coming from Obama's administration. This is where and then some of it was from Trump. But I don't know if we've seen Trumpflation yet hit the economy. And it will. And this is going to, these events are going to continue. But we haven't seen Trumpflation and we haven't seen Bidenflation hit it respectfully yet, because that inflation is going to be a lot higher. But with that being said, this is an issue that they have to have. They had to overturn Roe v. Wade because this is an issue that they had to run on, because they're not going to run on their fucking economic fucking acumen, because we can already see that their fucking Keynesian economics is shit. We see it right now. Empty store shelves, worker shortages, all the shit that's happened because of reckless Democrat policies. They're not going to run on it on social, because look at all the internet censorship. Look at all the media and look at all the hysteria that's going on with these riots and fucking bullshit and this division in the country. So they can't run on social issues. They can't run on crime rates because their fucking areas are crime-ridden shitholes. So what are they going to run on? What are you fucking running on? Well, you got to create issues. And one of those issues is gun control. This is why you get all the mass shootings and shit from Buffalo and fucking Uvalde and, oh, look at all these kids. And the media, you're only talking to yourself. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. They're looking at the gas pump paying $5 a gallon. But it's going to be the gun thing, and it's going to be fucking Roe v. Wade. And this is why it had to be overturned. So, we'll go on.
Traveling to another state to obtain an abortion. And this is so much of a threat that several states right now are putting laws into effect that protect people from that exact thing. I'd also like to say that numerous...
And like I said, it's probably a waste of time, because a law is only as good as if you're able to enforce it. And are you going to be able to enforce somebody driving out of state and getting an abortion? Are you going to be able to enforce that law? Probably not. So it would be a waste of fucking paper for them to even try to attempt to do something like that. So I don't see that being a pragmatic approach from these red states, to be honest with you. I don't think that they would spend a lot of time. And like I said, for the most part, one of the reasons why I don't want a national ban, even being pro-life, is to jettison as many blue staters as I can. So, yeah.
Different politicians on the right have made comments about how they're not done yet. They're only getting started. This is just the beginning.
And if these politicians are saying that, which, make no mistake, there's a very real world scenario. I do believe that we are becoming a theocracy, which isn't going to do me any favor, because theocracy has never been kind to the Christians. We're always the ones that get thrown to the fucking lions. Or, we get thrown into a fucking furnace or something. You know what I'm saying? Now, I know you can sit there and claim the Catholics and all this other shit, but, Catholics are not really Christians neither. So, I mean, they're pseudo-Christians to a degree. They still have a large portion of their religion is still centered around paganism. So, you could take the Salem witch trials, which, by comparison to the fucking, the Inquisition and shit, it's no comparison. You know what I'm saying? It was no comparison. So, yeah, for the most part, it's never good for the Christians. And we are heading into that theocracy. But it's not because of people like me. I love it. They'll say, oh, well, it's these religious people and shit like that. No, absolutely not. It's because of people like you coming out, making these weird-ass videos, doing this really fucking weirded out satanic shit, and then claiming that this should be allowed, like the child story time you know, the cuties shit and the drag queen story hours. Is that really necessary? Is it necessary? And, you know, if it is a setup, if it's a Republican setup, which I'm not saying that it isn't, why are you backing this? You know what I'm saying? There should be some sort of coherency in there, but there isn't. It's just to see how fucking degraded you motherfuckers have fallen over the fucking years is outrageous. So you're giving them the ammunition. I'm not giving them the ammunition. You're giving them the ammunition. And if they if they totally ban abortion, it's no skin off my ass.
They have so much more work to do. We're going to just keep taking away those rights, guys. Let's just keep taking them away. They're not.
Abortion wasn't a right. It was never a right. There was never a right. Dude, wasn't signing a fucking declaration. John Adams is like, we need to make sure that women can prematurely end any unwanted pregnancy. No, that never fucking happened. All right, it's not a right. It's a wedge issue. Your right to privacy is a fucking right that was that would protect abortion, but unfortunately, you don't think that we have a right to privacy because you want me to carry a fucking ID around that says, "Oh, you got your fucking vaccine," you know. So you don't really have a right to medical privacy.
Done. And in my opinion, that means they are going to, at least a lot of these people, push for a nationwide abortion ban. I don't think they're going to stop.
And you're giving them more ammunition to do this by the ridiculous antics. And whenever you go over there and support the motherfuckers, it doesn't matter if you're not there doing the protesting, you know, showing your canooter to everybody in the middle of a fucking park. You know, it doesn't fucking matter. If you're sitting there sharing that shit and getting a rib out of it and trying to sit there and use it to promote, people see that shit and they're like, oh, these motherfuckers are batshit fucking crazy. So this emboldens them to make even more and more restrictions as it regards to your side.
Until they get it. And I don't think they're going to stop at abortion. I think a lot of other rights that we all assume are ours will be taken away. I mean, we have gay marriage. A lot of people are saying in vitro fertilization, contraceptive rights. I mean, like they said, this is just...
They're not going to target that shit. You know, maybe eventually, but not immediately for sure. You know, that could be a potential because, you know, whenever I sit there and I make these things, but everybody's like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Or here fucking Sticks X and Hammer were sitting there telling me I was. But whenever you look at Joe Biden, he's a Catholic. Nancy Pelosi is a Catholic. Fucking, those Supreme Court justices, they're all fucking Catholic. All the 6 that voted against abortion are Catholics. Fucking Donald Trump is a goddamn Jesuit. Fucking Justin Trudeau's a Catholic. So whenever you see all these people over there, there's a real world chance that we could be heading into becoming a theocracy. And, you know, I'm not going to sit there and sugarcoat the shit. It's a possibility. You know, whenever you have this many people from one ideology that are in these powers of controls, they tend to work together. They tend to be in these little groups, these little fraternities and stuff, and work together. So, I meant, it is what it is. You know, and we can see that there's potential for that. But I'm going to sit there and say right now, it's not practical. It's not going to happen. So stop talking about the shit, because you're making your side. Because once the Republicans, you know, decide that they're going to, you know, make these changes and whatnot on abortion, you know what I'm saying? And the red states, you know, regulate abortion, because the Republicans are not going to send it back to the fucking, you know, the state again. It's not going to come back before the state again. You know, it's not, or the federal government. There's not going to be another federal decision brought on forth on abortion right now. It's not going to happen unless you keep doing this ridiculous bullshit. And ultimately, the left is sabotaging themselves. I'm not a big fan of the left, so, you know, it's nice to see you get your comeuppance to a degree, because I got laid off for having a right to my body, my choice. So the sheer fact that this so-called right has been taken away, which hasn't, the state that you live in, it's potential that they could ban it. But, you know, hey, it is what it is.
Beginning. We don't know what's going to happen next. And I think it's a pretty scary road ahead, if I'm being honest. And the more I think about it, the more I realize I'm just holding this and I'm not actually drinking it.
Yeah.
Much fun.
Yeah, see, there you go. Now you're gonna make a lot of fucking sense.
I also like to point out that a lot of people that are born in a conservative state or live in a conservative state, by the way, I live in Tennessee, so there we go.
And didn't you live in California at one time? This is what I'm trying to sit there and say. The fucking immigration crisis isn't coming from the southern border. Fucking Beth Van Doon, fucking Ted Cruz. It's coming from the western border, from these motherfuckers moving here. That's where the fucking population is growing from. It has nothing to do with the people coming here, immigrating from Mexico. It has to do with the people coming here from fucking California. Now you can make up your little fucking stories of, all these people sneaking in, all the fentanyl in the world that could kill a quarter of the American population and shit. Whatever the fuck, your weird ass news stories are. But the issue right now in Texas is all the people coming here from California. That's the issue. That's the issue that I see. That's why traffic is getting so backed up. This is why we're having so many fucking issues right now as far as our infrastructure.
A lot of people, though, unfortunately, are unable to travel, even if they could travel, which I am saying is probably going to.
And this is all conjecture. You have no fucking idea. This is what ifism. This is highly, it's a speculative. You know what I'm saying?
Be something that's banned. It makes things very difficult for people that are already in a very difficult situation. And I truly don't think that this is over, and I think we do need to fear the possibility of a nationwide ban. All these people are sitting there saying, oh, it's not in the Constitution.
It's not going to be a nationwide ban unless you motherfuckers keep pushing the shit and you make it an issue. If you make it an issue, then it's going to be a nationwide ban. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's not going to be a nationwide. Not right now as it stands, it's not going to be a nationwide ban. Now, if the fucking Democrats don't fucking relinquish the fucking White House in 2024, if the Republicans win and they refuse to relinquish, well, then ultimately, that the fucking dictatorship and the fucking theocracy will probably be implemented. Because as I've told you, the people that you are claiming that are, supposed to be all this pro-abortion shit are actually Catholics. But, I don't know. We'll have to wait until 2024. I mean, either way it goes, I'm not voting for Trump. I'm not voting for Trump anymore. I haven't seen, the Republicans haven't given me anything. You had, 2 full years to get a lot of this shit repealed, and you didn't repeal any of it. So, it is what it is. I guess I could thank Trump. Maybe Trump is playing 4D chess. Maybe he is. Maybe, this was his idea all along, fucking masterfully played.
Well, it's not a right, we should leave it up to the states. Well, let's see how long they want to actually leave it up to the states, because at some point, they're not going to want the states to have a right to be pro-life. I just don't think. But that's just me. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below.
What the fuck are you talking about? They don't want to have the states to be that doesn't make any sense. Repeat that shit again. The fuck are you talking about?
Section below. The next thing I hear is that a lot of women are going to die as a result of this, and that's 100% true. That's just
there's no telling how many women are going to die because of a result of this. You're making shit up. Like I said, this Roe v. Wade has only been around for 49 years. It is what it is. Maybe there'll be a small percentage. But I don't think that it's normally given the, year-to-year percentage. If I can tell you right now, if the whole country banned, let's just say for shits and grins, that the whole country banned abortion, right? And women are, can't get an abortion, then COVID would have ultimately saved more lives than it claimed. And I'm just being real.
Fact. We know that from how abortions were handled prior to Roe versus Wade. Women will get them no matter what. It's just whether or not they will get them safely. What I do want to focus.
And it is funny because they always make this argument about how, we need more common sense gun laws, and that'll make everybody safer, and that nobody's going to get a gun if we make the laws. But, abortions, no, you're still going to get them illegally. You see, there's fucking double standards that the Democrats have. Absolutely.
Is ectopic pregnancies. There are lots of people having a conversation around whether or.
And now she went ahead and looked up another fucking article and shit. Oh, now she's gonna read a fucking and then claim personal experiences. Like whenever I talk to leftists, Particularly, they just throw a lot of fucking shit out that they have no experience in, but they claim that they're experienced. They're all legal experts and all this other shit. It's absolutely fucking just
Not
amazes me.
abortion will be banned in an instance where the mother's life is at risk. That if you have an ectopic pregnancy, which by the way is a pregnancy where the egg fertilizes and grows outside of the uterus, it's extremely dangerous and life-threatening. Most of the time, and this happened to my grandmother twice, it's where the embryo will actually implant in one of the fallopian tubes, at which point part of the tube might need to be actually completely removed. It's extremely common. About 1 in 50 pregnancies are ectopic, which is 2%. So a lot of people are talking about and confused about how this anti-abortion.
And now with that, first off, it's only 2%. With that being said, that's going to be up to a medical provider. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we can't have this person probably potentially lose their life because of this issue. So this is a little bit understandable. And I'm pretty sure that any kind of real common sense legislation is going to sit there and take this into consideration. We don't know. But I'm pretty sure that they will. They'd say, oh, well, we're certainly not going to allow this lady to fucking die because of this issue right here. You see what I'm saying? Whenever you're looking at we'll get into the rest of it later on.
Legislation will affect situations like an ectopic pregnancy where the mother's life is at risk. So what we're facing right now with Roe versus Wade being overturned, all of it does carve out situations like ectopic pregnancies. If the mother's life is at risk and she needs emergency care, that is something that will and should happen. The problem is that the language in this legislation is so vague that it's going to cause a lot of confusion for health.
What legislation are you referring to? What legislation are you referring to? Because you don't know, it's not written yet. So you're saying that they didn't write legislation that says they're going to ban abortion yet. You know what I'm saying? Some states haven't even fully, these states are still in the process of writing legislation.
Care experts, and they might not make the right decision fast enough, and time is of the...
There's no HR bill that you're looking up, making this video, that you're sitting there saying, oh, well, look, they're not covering and continuing, yeah. No. There's nothing that you're looking at right now to come to this conclusion right now, rationally.
Essence, and a lot of these things, you have to make a quick decision or the mother's dead. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. That's just what's going to happen. I will link this article below, but a maternal and child health...
And that's going to be up to the healthcare providers whenever she's in labor. Oh, you have this issue right here. You know what I'm saying? It'd be the same as any other case, even if Roe v. Wade wasn't fucking overturned. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we have to go ahead and abort this baby right now. Well, how is this any kind of fucking argument whatsoever? It's not. It hasn't changed anything from that perspective. You understand what the fuck I'm saying?
Physician and internal human rights lawyer says the vague and unclear language in anti-abortion bills regarding ectopic pregnancy creates fear, stigma, confusion, and added expenses, all of which increase barriers to care. This decision...
And I think that this so-called legal expert doesn't know what the fuck... Either that or he's making some shit up. He doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this legislation has yet to be written. It takes time to write legislation. It's not just one person. It's a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, okay, you have Democrats and Republicans alike in every fucking state. They're going to be like, no, we should do this. No, we should do that. No, we should do this. Take this out, put this in, leave this in, and whatnot. So it's not just a one-sided issue.
Has a pretty immediate effect because of the trigger laws in several states. I talked about this a lot in my last video. Again, I'll link it below. But currently those laws do not prohibit the removal of an ectopic pregnancy. But the vague language regarding what is and isn't legal could confuse healthcare professionals and cause them to delay care out of fear of being prosecuted. Another possible complication is that these people...
This is going to be discussed. It's going to be discussed. You could sit there and, use these loose equivocal fucking articles. But, they're going to have to sit there and take this in consideration. You think that you're the only one that has ever heard of an ectopic fucking pregnancy? And you don't think that they're going to fucking take this into consideration? This is how fucking insane that everybody has become regarding fucking politics, is they don't sit there and stop and think rationally.
These lawmakers have just no base knowledge in science to understand what constitutes a pregnancy.
They don't have any fucking base fucking knowledge in economics neither. Or fucking diplomacy or any of the other fucking shit that they sit there. They fling shit on the wall and pray for it to stick. You know, if I wanted to fucking, if I fucking really fucking, this is why I'd never run for anything. This is why, because I don't want to be surrounded by these people. I'm trying to come up with fucking solutions. These people come up with more problems.
And how dangerous certain situations like this can be. They just don't understand the physiology or any of the science behind it, and then they make...
Oh, you're the only one, though. You're the only one that understands this shit. You're the only ones that ever fucking understands this shit. It's not like they don't have the same access to the same fucking articles you're reading, and they're going to take that in consideration. They're going to have to take this in consideration, because if they don't take it into fucking consideration, this is going to cause people to go ahead and have a reaction, and they don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't want, this all, I say that now, but you look at the fucking deal that we went through in 2020 and 2019 too. It's almost like they don't give a shit. So I mean, it's really no different. If they, potentially die from a cytokine storm or die from an illegal abortion, what's the difference really? But you're all for the cytokine storm.
Really dumbass comments like this. Louisiana lawmakers recently revised a bill changing the legal definition of a person from a fertilized egg that has been implanted in the womb to just a fertilized egg, which, there we go, here's a huge element of confusion with ectopic pregnancies, because that's a fertilized egg. I mean, if that's a person, we got a problem. Some state legislators have questioned why there should be exceptions for ectopic pregnancies. I don't know, maybe because it's not viable and could kill the mother.
So you're sitting here the whole time having this fucking breakdown about ectopic pregnancies, right? You're making this case about ectopic pregnancies. Why we should keep abortion, by the way, is solely because of ectopic pregnancies, which is what, 2% of pregnancies is what you said? 2% of pregnancies? I mean, how many does that equate to abortions and whatnot in abortion terms? Of the percentage of abortions. You know what I'm saying? So if the legislators are discussing it, more than likely they're going to sit there and add in these kind of revisions into the legislation. It's just not willy-nilly fucking like you going to make a video and then scream to the fucking high heavens. This is why nobody really fucking respects anybody in politics anymore. This is why nobody respects anybody in media. It's because it's just batshit crazy, fly off the fucking handle, and nobody likes to sit down, think and discuss and talk shit out rationally. But you're taking this from an article. That's exactly where you're getting this information from. It's an article from the same fucking unreliable news sources that everybody is fucking shitting on for the most part. Nobody takes these articles seriously. We want to see what's going to come out as far as legislation goes. Once you get the legislation, then you can sit there and say, okay, I agree with this, I don't agree with that. I myself am pro-life. So I don't mind Roe v. Wade getting overturned. And that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Are we pro-life or not? And here's where it gets really ridiculous. Others have previously tried to include provisions requiring doctors to move an ectopic pregnancy from the fallopian tubes to the uterus. A procedure that is medically impossible. I feel like if you're writing laws like this, you should have some idea of how the body works.
Is that what you think?
Like, it's not viable. How is this even being discussed? During a state Senate debate regarding an anti-abortion bill in Oklahoma.
The viability argument is, pointless. It doesn't fucking matter. That's another stupid fucking argument. This is one of the reasons why y'all lose so many of these arguments. It really is, because that's not an argument. Viability isn't. It has nothing to do with any kind of. Because the DNA and all that shit's already there. It has the formulas. It has the ingredients to become a human. It has your DNA. It has, 23 chromosomes and stuff like that. So please stop using the fucking viability shit, please.
A senator asked why there should be exceptions for ectopic pregnancies. I mean, does the mother really need to survive? The language is so broad it may even criminalize in vitro fertilization, IUD.
And so, like I said, this is another one of those ridiculous fucking media meant to gin up fucking fear. That's basically what it is.
And some forms of emergency contraception. To me, just the level of ignorance and misinformation about the basic biological processes that pregnant.
There's no real medical misinformation involving any of this shit at all. You know what I'm saying? The only misinformation is from you and your unreliable news fucking sources. You don't know what the legislation is going to include yet because nobody does.
Involves the lack of knowledge of just the very, very bare minimum of things is so scary when you combine them with people saying we're not done, we're only just getting started, we have so much more to do. Like, I'm terrified. And you can naysay it all day. I know I'm going to get a lot of people pissed off in the comments at me making this video and say, well, you can still get abortions. To me, that's not a guarantee for very long at all. It might be difficult, impossible, or illegal for some people to do.
And yeah, you're probably right. I can sit there and totally see where these fucking ridiculous over-the-top leftists keep moving them damn goalposts and being as fucking cringy as they can, where, you know, people would be like, no, fuck this shit, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of abortions altogether. I could see that happening. So I'm not going to sit there and deny you on that one. But, you know, it would be well-deserved at this fucking point. Because y'all were pushing mandates, so you were pushing people to get a untested VAXX, as I would like to sit there and say, because YouTube would take this motherfucker down. You know, and you didn't care. You didn't care about anybody else's fucking autonomy at all.
That, and then when there are cases where the mother's life is at risk, which sometimes are immediate medical emergencies, if they're not handled quickly because the staff doesn't know whether or not they're going to...
And like you've already said, this is a small percentage. Small percentage. Not even, you know, it's hard to address such a small percentage.
And get sued, like, you die. That's it. You die. I really don't want to get into my own opinions on abortion. I've made that very clear before, so I'm not going to do that in this video. I just wanted to focus on those things. I mean, I'm not surprised that this happened, but I am so incredibly disappointed and disgusted. So I've talked about this, obviously, for years on my channel. The comment I read at the beginning was like 7 years old. I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just sad to hope so much for progress and make these videos on things I'm passionate about, only for, you know, me to still be doing it 7 years down the line and us to have fallen so far back in our progress. It's really discouraging and pretty depressing. But I hope you guys are well. I would love to hear.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be nothing else. Like I said, more than likely, there are going to be more rational minds than yours. You're just a reactionary. You're just a reactionary reading some fucking inept media source. That's what it is. And so, you know, these things will be taken in consideration, I'm sure, to protect life. They're going to sit there and take these in consideration. So to sit there and fling shit on the wall and pray for it to stick from some source of a lawyer that nobody knows who the fuck he is, but clearly you identify with thinking he's a reliable source, doesn't really fucking matter. And, you know, if you keep on pushing the shit, then yeah, it probably will become a national ban. But it's not the handmaid's tale and shit like that. If you just shut up and allow the states to go ahead and legislate this according to their own people, then it's going to be a lot better. But, you know, the more that these people come out and protest the overturning and threaten these Supreme Court justices and go out there and do this lewd misconduct bullshit, then yeah, it's going to be overturned. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video out. My phone's fixing to die anyways. You people tell me what you think. You like, sub, do the shit YouTube. Probably maybe put this on Twitter, maybe put this on Facebook if I do. The social media interwebs tell me to fucking do. And for now, I'm out.